Oh my god, gals and non-binary pals. So for today's video, I decided to do another classic challenge, the 3-color challenge. So I used a website, link in the description if I remember, and generate 3 random colors. So for my rules, I'm going to do no black and white besides like in the background if I need it, and I am going to allow myself to use different opacity levels of the colors. I never actually did the smart thing and combine the colors using the opacity, but oh well, it's fine. I don't need to be smart. So the first color palette I generate is like a green with some like blue in it, like a dark purpley red, and a very orangey kind of yellow. So immediately when I saw these colors, I was thinking of using the purple and the yellow to make it B, and then the green could be like, I don't know, bush or something. Then I thought of like some woman in like a really over the top black, like almost wedding outfit, and then using the other colors for like some flowers around her and pops of color. But in the end I decided that was enough color. And then I was like, what if I made this like super quirky fashion, not quirky but like interesting, very bright colored fashionista? But then I drew it and I'm like, she just looks like a normal girl, never mind. So then I eventually settled on using the bees and making flowers and then a bee near the flowers. So for all of these drawings, since I only had 3 colors, I kind of went for a different style with how I was doing a lot of these things. And also I was feeling very burnt out, and a theme of things I do when I'm burnt out is just do really different stuff with my drawing process. So this one's probably the most normal, but the second and third drawings in this video are a lot different than I normally do, but you know, I still enjoyed at least one of them. So the flowers don't look that great, but I didn't care too much. I also originally planned to have like leaves on the stems, but later I don't do that, and I also added more flowers to make it look fuller, but pretty much I stuck with the sketch I had made. So I think the flowers I was like trying to draw here are like dandelions. They're kind of like just a standard flower design I go for. I don't know. Not really what flowers look like. Guess they're kind of dandelion-ish though, so. Also, for this drawing, I tried something I've never tried, and I used this brush that lets you like draw a line and it'll make that line like the negative space of a line. So pretty much you draw something and it puts a line art around that line you draw. I had a lot of complications with this. I don't like the line thickness because it's a lot thicker, but I couldn't find out how to change it without just making the overall thing smaller, and I didn't want that. Also, it made the inside white, so I couldn't color underneath it, which makes the coloring process for this really interesting. I don't think I'm ever gonna do that again. I also wasn't really going to draw a background for most of these since I don't have many colors, so don't know what I would do for a background. So I just put like a little patch of grass, which is where these flowers are and all that, and the rest is just a blank color void. I also added in the bee. I was thinking a lot about how I was going to do the wings on the bee since I wanted to, you know, make them see-through, and this, whenever I do the wings and the background is when I decide, yeah, I can't just do 3 colors and 3 colors only, I have to use opacity or something. So most of this drawing was made without the assistance of opacity. At first I was like, okay, I'm just going to keep it to a minimum, but by the second drawing, I was using it all for shading and everything pretty much. But overall, I mean, this drawing isn't something I normally make, and it's not something I'm into too much, but like, I appreciate it for what it is. Okay, next we have these 3 colors. Now, my first thought was like, oh, lily pads with a purple flower on it. And then I'm like, no, these are the exact colors of Mike Wazowski and Sully, except I didn't want to draw them really. Like I discussed, kind of in a bit of an art block, loss of motivation constantly right now, and that just sounded too difficult. I was going to do like meme drawings of them and just like really bad on purpose almost, but I'm like, I could just not too. So then I thought of a peacock feather, and so I tried it out. It wasn't quite the right colors, so it wasn't working out, and I also had to scrap that idea, so I returned to the lily pad eventually. But I wasn't really feeling drawing a purple flower, I guess. Like, most flowers on lily pads are lilies, right? What are they? Those aren't lilies. What's like the classic flower that's on a lily pad? They're not lilies, right? I know what a lily looks like. It's not that. Oh god. Why are they called lily pads then? I'm looking this up. What are the flowers on lily pads called? Water lilies. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, I guess some of them are purple. Well, more of a purpley pink. But yeah, there are purple ones. Anyway, I at least thought there were no purple ones. So I'm like, I'm not gonna draw that. Then I was like, okay, how am I going to incorporate purple then? How? So I came up with using the purple for like line art shading and stuff. So I turned the opacity down and shaded stuff with it. I, lined the lily pad with it. This one was definitely the laziest. I had so much trouble coming up with what to do with these colors because the green and the blue are so very close, so it was quite a struggle. But the blue could be water because it's a bit more bluish, so that's kind of like the only thing that was coming to my mind. So when I put the shading down, I tried like blending it out. It looks really weird. Obviously, we got this like purple going on green for the shading, and also Ibis Paint isn't, very reliable with the blending tool. I don't know, someone please help me find a better way to make smooth gradients and blends, but I'll figure it out one of these days. I also didn't know exactly, like, I know there's some patterns on like lily pads, but I was too lazy to look up what a lily pad looks like, honestly, so we get this. It's fine. I also add in some fish and just add some more interest. Yeah, there's not much to this drawing. It's definitely the laziest one. And then we come to the final drawing. So this one, I got a very bright pink, a very light yellowish green, and then a very dark like green. And so at first I thought of like drawing this cute alien girl, and then I wasn't really sure on how I was going to draw an alien, so instead I thought of drawing a, what's it called, Florin? Okay, so I've never played Starbound, I think that's what it's called, but one time I played D&D with my siblings, and my sibling made a custom, race, a homebrew that was a Florian? No, Florian's the name, or is Florin the name? Yeah, one of those, something like that. And so I kind of drew it based off of that. It's not exactly that. I don't know the specifics of a florin, but I just drew like hair made out of leaves and then had light green skin, and then I used the pink to make like a cute little shirt. Once again, very much not my typical style, so I had to fix the shirt a lot, and I don't know, I kind of messed up on like shoulder anatomy or something. I don't know. Tried doing like a bust, and my original plan had like one of the shoulders going up, so that's kind of how the whole thing was planned. Then it wasn't looking right, so I had to change it. Once again, I've talked about this. I tried doing boobs. Still need to figure out how the heck to draw those. But I don't know how bad the like body part of this drawing is. I literally have no idea. I haven't really paid too much attention to it. Just sitting there and analyzing it. It looks wrong when I look at it, but I don't know what is wrong. I don't really like it too much, okay? This is still my favorite drawing in this video because I put the most effort into it and utilize the different opacity and stuff the most. The leaf hair kind of messed up. One of the leaves turns out looking really awkward and it hurts me to look at. It's not that bad. If I wasn't lazy, I would have gone back and fixed it. Also, it's really weird that I couldn't put in like the whites of the eyes. I didn't think about till I was actually like doing the drawing. I was like, oh god, I can't, can I? I mean, like, I guess I could have took the green, turned down the opacity, and put it over a white background, but you know, that kind of felt like a cop-out. So it looks really off. There's a reason I drawn the whites of the eyes. It's for this reason. But it doesn't like look that bad. If you compared it to like how I normally draw like a humanoid, it'd be like, oh, yeah, that's kind of weird. But on its own, it looks fine. Yeah, you can see, like, I didn't go for normal line art because I didn't want to contrast too much, especially with the pink. So I turned down the opacity on the darkest green and made like a little rough line art just to add some more definition and stuff. I later go through and shade with that color as well because, you know, that's my darkest color. I could shade with pink, but I'm not going to do that. Plus, none of the dark green things besides like the leaves really needed shading, so it's the only color that would have worked the best. So it's pretty clear all the drawings in this video are pretty simplistic. That's why I include 3. Normally I don't have enough energy to make 3 unless at least one of them is easy. But I did have fun making these. I always like doing different things and using these challenges to really experiment with how I draw things and shake up the process, because a lot of times things just feel really repetitive when drawing, and sometimes like making a big finished beautiful drawing can feel daunting. So doing little things like this feels really refreshing compared to all that, and it's nice to change up, you know, what you're doing every once in a while. This one was my favorite, not gonna lie. I know it has a lot of problems, but I still enjoyed it. I don't know, she just has good vibes. Anyway, if you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. I post every week on Sunday, and I put a lot of time and effort into making these videos, so I'd really appreciate if you stick around. Also, maybe share these videos around. Ooh, I haven't really put too much effort into getting a larger audience yet, but I don't know, could be cool. Also, all my social media is in the description, so please go follow all of those. And I'll see you all next week.